This wall feels like walking down memory lane. At least for me it does. There it is. Ta-da! That's an original piece from the show. And yes, it's authentic. Over here, you'll see all the bottles. People tend to give them to me all the time. And, of course, here's the original the whiskey bottle on the beach that started it all. For over 2,000 years, I've been in that bottle, Jeannie said. And then this hand released me. It's hard to believe it's been 60 years since Barbara Eden first enchanted audiences with her magic and eye. Dream of Jeannie. So, what's the proper technique to do the genie gesture? You cross one arm over the other, nod your head, blink, and your ponytail wiggles. But you don't have a ponytail, someone jokes. Barbara laughs. No, I don't. At 94, the beloved star remains as radiant, gracious, and humble as ever, inviting Entertainment Tonight into her Beverly Hills home. She reflects on her iconic career, her memories, and the timeless magic that still surrounds her. When asked to pick her favorite episode, she doesn't hesitate. The first one, the pilot, she says, "I loved that first scene on the beach. Trying to speak Persian was difficult, and it was freezing. Everyone had on jackets except me. I was wearing a genie costume. I remember being so cold. One of the drivers invited me into the cab to warm up. He handed me a whiskey bottle and said, 'Have a hit.' I told him, 'No, I can't do that.' That's not a good idea. Don't know is that the pilot was filmed before the show was? Officially picked a pan, then something unexpected happened that could have cost Barbara her role. The day I was told the pilot had sold, my doctor told me I was pregnant," Barbara recalls. "I was thrilled. I'd been trying so hard for so long. I called Sidney Sheldon and said, 'I have to talk to you right now.' He was at a friend's house for dinner, but he told me to come over. I told him, smiling, 'Sidney, I'm pregnant and I can't do your show.' He was shocked, of course, but bless him. He rewrote the scripts and convinced NBC that I was the only one who could play Jeannie. I'll be forever grateful." Filming while pregnant wasn't easy, but Barbara describes it as one of the most fulfilling experiences of her life. "It was the most wonderful, self-affirming thing I've ever done," she says. "I was so happy, thrilled to be pregnant and to have a baby, and grateful to be working on something I truly loved. I'd sit on the set watching everyone and think, I'm doing something really special. I'm building a baby." It may sound silly, but I loved it. Barbara was always clear about how she viewed her character. Jeannie was never a sex symbol, she insists. She wasn't human, she was an entity, and that's what the show was really about. This magical being thought she was human, but she wasn't, and she made her master's life miserable. She wasn't seductive. She was kind, funny, and completely devoted. I really liked her. When asked if she knew how good the show was back then, Barbara shakes her head. "I loved working on it because of the camaraderie. But you don't think about the future effect of what you're doing at the time." Does she ever watch reruns? No, she admits. "I don't watch myself on film. I never have. As an actor, you shouldn't be self-conscious, and watching yourself can make you too aware of what you're doing." Larry Hagman used to go to the screenings every day to see what we filmed. Then he'd come back and tell me about it. But I couldn't do that. So, what made the chemistry between her and Larry Hagman so magical? Larry was a wonderful actor, absolutely spot on, she says. There's something special that happens between actors, sometimes a spark you can't predict. Larry and I had that. We were always on the same wavelength. He believed in what he was doing, and so did I. That's what made it work. Did it make her laugh to see Larry later become America's most hated man as J.R. Ewing on Dallas? No, it didn't, she smiles. It should have, but I just knew how talented he was. He was capable of anything. I even appeared on a few episodes of Dallas. He was amazing. Jeannie was a role that required both charm and physical comedy. It really was a great comedy part, Barbara says. I'd done I Love Lucy earlier in my career. That was my third job ever. Lucy was so good to me. I was just trying to do everything right because I needed another job. She even wanted to put me under contract for comedy. That gave me chills. It was thrilling. Just a few years later, in 1960, Barbara found herself starring alongside another icon, Elvis Presley, in Flaming Star. Elvis was wonderful, she recalls warmly. He was just a good guy, so talented. The movie didn't make a lot of money, but he was great to work with. He always had his father and a friend on set, both with guitars, and they'd sing between takes. We talked a lot. He asked me what it was like being married in this business with all its pressures. I told him, It's our job, that's all. He said he wasn't sure about bringing his girlfriend into that world. That girlfriend, of course, was Priscilla. I told that story to Priscilla a few years ago. It still makes me smile. As for Barbara's own love life, she's been happily married to her third husband, real estate developer John Ickles, since 1991. What's the secret? She's asked. He's a good man, and I love him, she says simply. That's everything. Was it strange for him to be married to one of television's most famous faces? Barbara laughs. He didn't even know who I was. He'd never seen I Dream of Jeannie. Not once. When it comes to advice for young actresses in Hollywood today, Barbara's message is clear and grounded. Be true to yourself, value yourself, and most importantly, be trained. Have some experience before you try to burst onto the scene. You can't do it without training. I truly believe that. Looking around her Beverly Hills home, filled with decades of memorabilia from her career, it's easy to see that Barbara Eden's charm and legacy remain timeless. The original bottle, the photos, the awards, they all tell the story of a woman who helped shape television history. I'm thankful for so much, Barbara says softly, for good friends, for my family, for everything I've been able to do. You just don't expect to be remembered as you get older. It's wonderful and unexpected. From her first appearance as a magical genie in 1965 to her enduring grace today, Barbara Eden continues to captivate generations of fans. Her laughter, humility, and warmth remain as bright as ever, proof that real magic doesn't fade. She's more than just a genie in a bottle. She's a Hollywood legend who brought joy, humor, and heart to millions and continues to shine with the same sparkle that made her unforgettable 60 years ago.